You may want to come up here so I can point out to you too. So what we have here is the mouth, the nasal cavities, the tongue. It comes down, and this is the first place that the air or the food goes. Well, the tongue is further up here. You know what this is? It has the ridges.
Trachea.
Trachea. That's right. Behind the trachea, you'll have this tube. It's a soft tube. What's it called? Esophagus. Up at the top, we have the bird's beak. Remember the bird's beak I was talking about?
No.
Nice rigid bird's beak. It is the flap that closes off the esophagus and the trachea, so that epiglottis. So the food doesn't go down into the trachea. So the bird's beak is called the epiglottis.
Wait, how does that work? Like it just flaps over it?
Yeah, it flaps over it, or it flaps
that way.
down.
Okay.
The hole next to it. You know what the hole's called?
Glottis?
Glottis, that's right. So you have the epiglottis at the top, the bird's beak, and then you have the glottis, which is the hole. On the sides of the glottis, you have the true vocal cords, called the true vocal cords. On the outside of those, you have the false vocal cords. False vocal cords are just kind of there for protection, and it encasses the true vocal cords. So, false vocal cords on the outside, true vocal cords on the inside. Glottis is the hole in the middle, and this is the epiglottis, the bird's beak. Trachea, esophagus.
And the trachea is the one that has the ridges, right?
Yeah, that's the one with the hard ridges. Okay.
Does the cat have a hyoid bone?
Does the cat have what?
A hyoid bone?
Hyoid, yeah, the hyoid's going to be way up here. It's going to be up in there, I think.
Okay.
I remember the most. The hyoid.
Yes, the worst thing is the smell of formaldehyde or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all know what this is, right?
The
heart.
lungs and the heart.
This is the heart, right? That's the heart. There. On the outside of the heart is going to be the lungs. You can see there's this thin muscular tissue right here that sits right underneath the lungs. That's the diaphragm, right?
That thin thing?
This is, yeah, look how thin it is.
Okay, wait, what's the name again?
The diaphragm? So it makes you
Whenever
breathe.
it's in the relaxed position, it's pushed upward, up against the lungs, and you are exhaling. Whenever it contracts, it pushes downward, and you inhale. That's contracting. When you inhale, it contracts. Exhale, it relaxes upward. It puts pressure on that lungs. So, this large organ that surrounds the stomach, what is it called? Liver. That is the liver. Doesn't it make you want to just bite in?
Oh, it was like green.
The green thing.
I hate liver.
The green thing is
It's gotta be the
bile
gallbladder from the gallbladder.
coming from the gallbladder. This is the gallbladder back here, and it's secreting bile. This right here is your stomach. This is your stomach, and we cut it open so you can see what the inside of the stomach looks like. You can even grab some food if you want.
Food out of the cat. He had to take food out of the cat. Oh my whole life without seeing
Oh my god.
So here's the ridges of the stomach.
He just like threw it out of the stomach. No,
Okay,
like.
come on, y'all. The ridges of the stomach where it churns that food around. You want me to pull the food out again?
No.
Underneath or actually surrounding it, you have this huge blanket of tissue.
Wait, that's
So
wrong
it
stomach?
suspends all the intestines.
Anybody know what this is called? I always call it the wrong thing. It's the greater, not omasum, the greater omentum. This big flap that covers the visceral organs is the greater omentum.
Never heard of that one.
Here we have the stomach. This leaf shape, what is it called? Leaf shape, and it sits right next to the stomach.
Pancreas?
Pancreas.
Pancreas.
Kidneys we'll look at in a second. So the pancreas, the liver with the gallbladder, and the stomach all feed into the first portion of the small intestine. And what's that first portion called? Duodenum, right.
Duodenum.
And that moves all along the small intestine. And what's the middle region of the small intestine called?
Small duodenum, ileum, jejunum.
Starts with a
V?
DJI. It's the jejunum, isn't it?
Yeah, jejunum, excuse me, not V, a J. Yeah, jejunum.
That's that
And then
skin
we got
No, this is the jejunum, part of the intestines in between the duodenum and the ileum.
Now, can you tell when one stops and one begins?
It's a
Or
gray
just
area.
It's an arc.
If I point right next to where it goes into the stomach,
Okay, come on,
it's
that's
going to
fine.
be the duodenum. Then jejunum is along the way. This this thin epithelial layer that connects all of this to the body cavity and to each other. It's called the mesenchyme. Mesenchyme?
Yeah.
Oh, mesentery. Sorry, mesentery. Excuse me. Mesentery. I have
Meso something.
I have my key up there. And then at the very end of the small intestines, you have the ileum. In between the ileum and the next portion is called the what?
Tissue.
No.
Transverse colon or
It's
ascending?
the cecum.
Cecum.
You have the ileocecal canal, or ileocecal valve. That's right here,
That?
and that leads to this portion, which is the cecum. And the cecum is where we're going to have an appendix in humans. Cat does not have the appendix.
Well, the appendix doesn't do anything, right?
Well, that's kind of debatable.
Okay.
Isn't that a
It's an
vestigial
epidermal
organ or something? they call
vestigial,
it?
yeah. The rest of this is called the what?
Large intestine.
Large intestine or the colon, and we have 4 parts of the colon, which you don't need to know.
We
But
don't need to know.
you do need to know, but you just need to identify this as the colon for the test.
Question.
And that runs
Can we
out
have that
to the
same
rectum.
cat, please?
Why?
Stick this one on ice, would you?
What did y'all say? Y'all were debating whether it's a male or a female? What do y'all think?
Male.
Yeah, it's a male.
Okay.
And somebody asked about the kidneys.
Yeah.
Kidneys are going to be on the sides and the back.
Oh, they're all the way
Here's
back
one.
there? I thought they were the same thing.
That came out of the stomach.
Okay.
And then here's another kidney on the sides.
Why is the small intestine bigger than the large intestine?
It's
Because
longer, but
it's
it's not
small.
bigger. It's longer, but it's it's
not as big as
very
around.
big around.
As
If
a
you
large.
pull
It's
this
long.
out, you can see that it's really
Oh,
large.
so it's like
It's
this
just flattened.
way bigger, not
Yeah, it's larger, not long.
Y'all get out of here. I got to show the other groups.
Is that
Thank you.
everything?